Today we're taking a look at Pragmata running on the Xbox Ally X. This game runs absolutely phenomenal on the handhelds, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how it performs. So I'm going to be going over the settings I'm using and show you real gameplay. Now, most of what you're going to be seeing here in this video is very similar to what was shown in the demo, so there's not going to be many spoilers. If you enjoy handheld performance tests like this and want to see more, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the video. Now let's get into it. I'm going to be starting with the settings first and then moving into gameplay. If you would like to skip ahead, you can, but this is going to give you a good idea of how everything is set up. Now, before going into the settings, I do recommend that you go ahead and adjust everything before starting the game. Most of these graphical settings can't be changed while you're in the game, so you are going to need to go ahead and back out to make any adjustments. This did make testing a bit of a hassle, so just make sure that you get everything set up beforehand. Now, for my settings, I am running it at 1920 by 1080p with frame rate capped at 60 FPS. VSync, ray tracing, and path tracing are all turned off. You could go ahead and mess around with these if you want to. I just prefer to have them all off for a little bit more performance gain. Upscaling is set to AMD FSR 3 with the preset on performance. Frame generation is also off, and that's another thing. It's personal preference. If you want, you can go ahead and turn that on. I just prefer that off. You can enable it if you want. Most of the other settings are set to high, and then I have motion blur turned off, which is also personal preference. You could go ahead and pause this if you need to, copy it, and adjust it as you go. The game is also playable at 17 watt performance mode. You can follow that on the right hand side above the FPS counter. Most likely if it's at 16 or 17 watts, it's performance mode, and then anything from 30 watts and above is going to be that 35 watt performance mode, and you can follow that there to see when that does actually change. Now, the main difference I see between these two settings isn't a huge increase in FPS, but more stability. At 17 watts, you generally see it around 40 to mid 40 FPS, but it will dip into the 30s more frequently than it does at 35 watts. With 35 watts, it tends to stay closer to 45 FPS, but it will push into 50 or 60 FPS more occasionally. Of course, if this is not good enough for you and you would like a little bit more performance, you can always drop the resolution from 1080p to 900p, especially if you're playing directly on the handheld. There's not really much of a graphical difference between the two on the smaller display. Or you could go ahead and lower some of the settings from high to medium. This will give you more of headroom and help keep FPS more consistently. Personally, I think the setup strikes a good balance of sitting around the 45 FPS while still maintaining strong visuals. Outside of performance, the game looks excellent and plays really well on the handhelds. I didn't run into any major issues. There was some minor screen tearing at times, but no noticeable stuttering or major drops outside of heavier combat. Text is easy to read and you can adjust it if needed. Controls feel responsive, aiming is smooth. Overall, the gameplay translates really well to the handheld. The visual quality stands out as well. The game looks phenomenal, and even smaller details like the hair physics look great. Normally hair has some weird fringing and artifacting, and that's not present here. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Everything feels polished and responsive. I also tested the demo a couple of months ago, and it already performed really well back then. The full release continues that. It's not surprising to see how well this runs as well. If you're looking to play Pragmata on the Xbox Ally X, this is an easy recommendation. It runs great on the handheld and still has the flexibility to be played on a monitor or TV if you decide to dock it. But that's going to be it for this one. If you happen to have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you like the video, then go ahead and help me out and give the video a like. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.